Vietnam right now is one of the fastest growing market in the region. Yeah. And by the region, I mean the greater Southeast Asia. So it's quite important now to really understand why we are seeing so much growth in this market and also what it's going to look like in a few years, right? So I guess last time, 2 years ago, when we discussed, we were working, and we are still working, of course, with Tiki, and we had a case study. In between, we had another case study with Sendo, focusing more on the app business and app growth. So mobile, for sure, is still there. Mobile is still the #1 reason why this e-commerce growth is happening in Vietnam. Yeah. And this is not going to stop. We are seeing that everything is green right now. Adoption of smartphones, mobile consumption rate, everything is on the rise. So that's the first point. But then that's not really enough when you think about it, because you do have more and more people, of course, accessing their phones, but you also have more and more people being able to spend and purchase online, just because the GDP of the country has a growth rate of around a little bit less than 7%. So this means that we are getting more and more customers. They are actually relatively young, so I think it's around 37% are between 15 to 31 years old. So they just want to go online. Those millennials, they want to go online and they want to purchase. How do you do this and how do you really understand that? You need to have a proper view of the full customer journey. And that's what we call omni-channel, and we are seeing this as the defining trend in the market right now between all the devices. So we need to know that they come from a laptop, desktop, they went to their smartphones, and it's always the same person so that we can customize the message for them. So that's the first step. The first step is just to really have a holistic view of the device consumption. But then you can go further than this, and you can think about ways to also create bridges between online and offline. Two worlds that are very much disconnected until now. But in Vietnam, it's very important because you have people who are going to the streets to purchase, they are going to malls to purchase, but now they also want to be able to go to online malls, online marketplaces. So we need to understand that they started their customer journey offline, and we need to reconcile this information with whatever we know from their online behavior. So omnichannel is definitely going to stay as well.
Okay, so what you mean, how about we connecting with the offline store with the online store?
Sure. So technically this is, I would like to say, relatively simple, but that's maybe just my perspective. It means that in order to really reconcile online and offline, you need to have, you need to collect CRM information. This CRM information must be the same between online and offline. So let's say you have a very strong offline presence. You're going to have lots of products that you sell, right? And you also have an online web store. You need to be able to match exactly the products between offline and online. That's the first step. And then you need to collect certain level of information from the users. Usually it's going to be maybe the emails, maybe the mobile phone numbers, maybe sometimes even the device IDs. And then you need to be able to use this data, but you need to use this in an encrypted way. That's something that is very clear for Criteo. We would never want to use personal data. We would want to understand how to link behavioral data to a person. And that's how we are going to be able to propose some products to them across the omni-channel versions.
In Vietnam, the young generation, they very active in the Facebook.
Yes.
That means a lot of them, they put a lot of money in the Facebook as the Facebook can run the Facebook campaign. So
yes.
What is your advantage competitive with the Facebook ad?
Facebook can be considered in a certain way as a publisher, although it is not their official definition, but they do have the ability to show ads, right? So for them, it's important that those ads are as relevant as possible. But for us, this is the same way that we are considering other partners like Google and also some direct premium publishers that we enter into contract with in every single market in the region. including Vietnam.
Yeah. So, at your point of view, that if any suggestion, any recommendation for the reseller when they run the campaign to optimize the campaign, because we have so many platforms. We have Facebook, we have the Google, we have some premium ad network publisher. So.
Well, of course, it depends on each website and each application. They all have different strategies. I think it's very important that before even thinking about just the KPIs and just the metrics that they're going to look at, they should just think about their ultimate goal, what they want to achieve. Is it pure acquisition of new users? Is it acquisition of new customers? Is it re-engagement? Is there any aspect of brand awareness that we should consider? All of these aspects of a marketing campaign, Criteo can do it. We are not just simply doing retargeting. Right now we are doing much more than this, and that's pretty much the main difference from the last time that we met. We have developed this massive commerce marketing ecosystem. The way we do this is that we enter into partnerships with marketplaces, very big marketplaces everywhere, including Sendo, for example. And what we do is that we can then discuss with brands, or we can even discuss with their own sellers, and we are going to tell them, we are going to help you to have more meaningful advertisement on those marketplaces. So that we are basically trying to find a way to help them work better with the marketplaces and not be only dependent on them, but also have a say in what they want to, in how they want to progress. So we're going to keep driving conversions, we're going to keep driving brand awareness, but this time we are doing it with the help of the marketplaces.